Going live. And 2, 3, 1. No. I'm probably one of the happiest gardeners you have seen on YouTube because of the fact that everything in my yard is growing. It's cool out. It's cool this morning. Um, that's got me concerned because I have okra growing, and okra doesn't like cold at all, as we all know. It's 63 degrees here. That's got me concerned. 63 degrees. Um, I think I will put, excuse me, maybe, okay. I think I will put um, some more yellow squash in and some more zucchinis. Zucchini. I think I'm saying that right. Because you get it in now, you can always use it. And if not, you can give it away. And I'd much rather give food away to people than to have the ability to be able to plant it and not plant it. So there will be zucchini planted extra. Let's see, one of the just came in from looking at okay. Container garden. I did a little bit of that myself this year. In fact, all my potatoes are done in containers. Now, are your plants nice and big and fat, or are they skinny plants? If they're skinny, there's a way you could deal with that. Fertilizer, fertilizer. What kind are you using this year? Had a good time. Had a good time. Good time yesterday in the garden. Beautiful time. Went out into the property, got everything planted, and now contemplating on whether or not to plant more. Knowing me, I will plant more. Today is the 15th. Um, I go back to work later this evening. And it looks cloudy, so I might get some rain today. I have a few people. Oh, you did good. You did excellent. You did excellent. Where are you located? You overwintered pepper plants, um, and they're 4 feet tall. That is excellent. Where are you located? What city are you from? What county? Okay, you hear? I do. I recognize that name. I wasn't sure. Um, did you overwinter them in the house, or did you overwinter them in some kind of greenhouse? Well, Town, Maryland. Okay, okay. Congratulations on that. I'm proud of you. You actually overwintered them in the house. Oh, well, no, you overwintered them in the house. Okay, okay. You must keep your house awful warm then. Did you keep them near a window? That is excellent. Oh man, pepper plants. Folks, if you could do that every single winter, overwinter your I said, oh yes. A bay window, okay. How warm is that area, would you guesstimate, in the wintertime? Because I have a big, huge bay window. You did good. If you do that every year and overwinter your plants, you will always get peppers. And, you know, once you find out, okay, I can do this is the temperature they are fine with, or these are the type peppers that will do fine, okay, I'm going to keep doing it this way. Yeah, that's the way you do it. Peppers are expensive in the stores. Peppers are expensive in the stores. They're considered a cash crop. Good morning. Good morning. Morning realtor. How's your garden going? That's good. My garden is acting absolutely crazy. Okay, you pulled them up, and are you putting anything in its place? Yesterday, I got out there, and I'm gonna tell you something, folks. If you're planting in ground, if you are planting in ground and you have struggled for many years using a shovel, digging through heavy clay soil, do yourself a favor, get yourself a manure fork. I understand they sell them at some Walmarts. You're looking for a manure fork with an 8 foot, well, no, 6 foot handle. It doesn't matter, whatever, regular long handle, long handle. Just remember that. I want to keep everything simple. If you use this, you will forget most of the time about ever using a shovel. You simply stand on the side of that fork. It will go in the ground 8 inches deep. You simply pull back on the handle, lifting the soil. Don't turn it over. A lot of people make that mistake. Just lift it. Go in next time about 2 to 3 inches behind that original entry, all the way down again, 8 inches, pull back. You are opening the soil up, allowing air to get into the soil. You are loosening the soil. And in fact, you don't even have to remove the weeds. Because when you finish doing this, the weeds will lift away. Yes, I said lift, not pull, not tug, but lift from the ground. You will then shake the loose soil from the weeds. And then you will set the weeds over on the side, or you will put them in a compost pile or whatever. Okay, got it. That's what you want to do. It will cut your work not in half, but it will seem like you're not doing any work at all. This is the way we should have been going many, many, many years ago. But no one told us and no one showed us that this is the correct way to go. A manure fork. I bought mine many years ago for $8. I didn't know really how to use that when I first got it. I used it primarily for turning over my compost pile, but that wasn't all it could do, but I didn't know. So one day I just started simply lifting the soil, and I didn't know then. And then one day in the future, I started using it because I got tired of shoveling that heavy soil around or standing on the shovel to get the shovel to go in the soil. I said, this got to be an easier way. And I looked over to my shed and I picked up the fork and said, wait a minute, this just slides in the ground like hot butter, like a knife through hot butter. Or the other way around, you know what I'm saying. But it definitely worked. It worked. And I've been using it ever since. And I love it because it slides in the ground, lift the soil, slides in the ground, lift the soil, lift the soil, lift the soil. Once you continue to do this, what will happen is you will say to yourself, wow, I can't believe you can make the hole for your plants 8 inches wide, 2 feet wide. I like 2 feet wide because I like to put one plant in a 2 foot wide hole so all the soil around it is loose. And I'm gonna tell you something. You won't go back. I already know you're not gonna go back to the shovel. You will not go back to the shovel. You'll use the shovel for some other purpose, but you're not gonna use it for digging planting holes because the shovel is just way too much work. I mean, imagine it. I love it because you look at a whole patch of weeds and you don't even have to move them. All you got to do is just put the fork in and keep going in and out, lifting, lifting, in and out, lifting, lifting, lifting. And then when you finish your hole, you just simply reach your hand down with your gloves on and pick up your weeds, shake them off, drop to the side, shake them off, drop to the side. And when you look, you will see a big, pretty black hole where you just loosened down to 8 inches deep. Oh my goodness, folks. Because everybody knows that majority of us do have hard clay soil or we have heavy soil that's clay. And when you do it this way, folks, you go say, I don't believe that. The morning gardener finally got it right. That's what you're gonna say. Finally, he got it right. But you'll love that. You'll love that. So think about it. Look at your funds and see if you got enough to go in there and purchase a manure fork. Tractor supply stores might have them. Just look around. I wouldn't suggest paying an arm and a leg for them, but you want a nice heavy duty one so you don't have a problem with it. I have Yeah, okay, great. Because the reason why I'm suggesting a long handled one is because they had them long prongs on it and they cylindrical and they're round. That's what you want. And you poke that in the ground a couple times, you never gonna go back, ever gonna go back, ever to a shovel. You gonna say, I don't believe I haven't been doing this all along. You're digging a hole without digging a hole. And then you take, it's the soil be so light that when you take your hand and scoop aside and drop your plant in there and just scoop it back, backfill it, and then and you're done. But don't tamp it down all heavy because the main reason why you did that is you're trying to loosen the soil. So water it back in. Don't do that old heavy tamping. Folks, I only want you to have gardening success. Notice I'm not selling anything on my page or anything. I have thought about it because I said, I could stand to make a couple of coins doing this because I've been doing it for so many years. It just and the old lady is like, you should charge. And I said, oh, please don't, please. She said, you need to take care of the garden. How you gonna do that if you don't have money? And I said, baby, baby, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. So that being said, the key to gardening is when the weather starts is to plant as much as you possibly can. I say overplant every opportunity you get because you're going to use the food or someone else can use it. Overplant. Now, we got fall season coming up. Get ready for fall season. Don't wait till the last minute. Just say to yourself, collard greens and kale and whatever else is a good fall crop. Think about it, get it ready, and get it out there when the fall season comes in. Spray your fruit trees down in the dead of winter with some dormancy spray. Don't skip that move because if you do, you're gonna wake up in the springtime and the summer with bugs just eating all your apples, eating all your peaches, eating all your cherries, and you're gonna say to yourself, how can I stop this? And everywhere you call, they're not gonna understand what language you're speaking. When you say they're eating everything, they're gonna say, well, did you spray this fall, this winter? Did you spray? You're gonna say, no, I didn't. And they're gonna think on the other end of the phone, they're gonna say, well, that crop's going to the bugs, buddy. Oh, I'm looking up here. Thank you for the thumbs up. Someone sent me a thumbs up. That's all right. Thumbs up is another way for me to say they say they appreciate what you're saying, or they agree with you, and I appreciate that. That's a good symbol there. Yeah, yeah, that's a good thing there. That's a good thing. But it's early in the day. 18 minutes, 19, almost 19 minutes into my morning sermon about gardening. I love it. You should love it. You should depend on it to a great degree because your grocery stores are not selling you the best foods, and your government is running amok. It's like a whole bunch of dysfunction going on in the government. So someday they're gonna come out with something else and say, well, they have stopped all food supplies coming from different countries. You say what? And and when it does come from overseas, the foods that you're getting, it is absolutely no control over what they do to that food, what chemicals, what gases they spraying on it to make it look good before it gets to the market. And then while you're here and you got time, you put in as much as you can. You put much as you can in so that you have food abundant, at least in the spring and summer. And then some of you smart enough to take the food and say, I can store this food. And they store it all during the winter. This is the year the Morning Gardener will purchase another, I repeat, another um, deep freezer. I want a deep freezer so that I can store my one of my favorites, and that's okra. Can't get enough of your love, baby. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you. Someone else gave me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. All right, well, I guess I've said enough. I'm ready to go out there and get into that garden. To get into that garden and to put in some yellow squash and some more zucchini. Beautiful. Oh, thank you very much, gardening realtor. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, you want? Hey, I don't know what that is. I don't. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's see what that is. Uh, Oh, I've been gardening for over 20 years. Oh, that's okay. I've been gardening for over 20 years. Every mistake you could possibly imagine, I have already made them. I have made them. I wish I could have. Oh yeah. Work is something. Work is something. It is. Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you a little story. Little story. I remember when I bought this house, and the realtor came over, and he said, "That's your backyard." I said, "Wait a minute. Hold up." I said, "Oh, that's my backyard." He said, "Yes." Because I was already looking at the backyard. I wanted a property with a backyard, and it was all this growed in trees and all kind of stinky kind of trees. That's what I call it, the kind that you know. And I looked at him and I said, "I'll take it." And he said, "Sir, you haven't seen the inside of the house yet." I said, "Oh, that's right." Exactly what I said. Never forget it. So we walked through the inside of the house. It was nice. I looked at it. Said, "Okay, yeah, I'll take it." And then I asked him a second time, "So all that's my backyard and all this is my front yard?" He said, "Yep." He said, "All this is yours. You'll get paperwork that will give you more information onto that." That's just the footage. So, long story short, I immediately started working in the yard. I bought a used chainsaw from what they call one of them scratch and dent places, and started using it and cutting down all these little trees. The trees were about 3, 4 inches around. I was cutting all these down, and now you could finally see daylight in the yard. And the yard was filled with snakes and it was insects and everything. And I was cutting everything down. So when I did all that, I was changing the environment here. So everything, all the snakes left, all the other critters left, and then I got it down to where I could go back there and mow the yard. I had to pull out little tree stumps and everything. And when I got all of it cleared it down to a little, I covered everything. I dug a small plot, which was dug with a hoe, and it was 4 feet by 6 feet or something like that. And I put in, because the soil was real hard. I remember that it was real hard, and it was brown colored. It was brown colored, and the um, the brown colored soil was, you know, and so I put in some cucumbers and I put in tomatoes, and I was happy, and I watched them as they poked their little seeds through the ground, and by the time summer was almost over, and I got a few cucumbers out of it, I got a few tomatoes, and I bit into them, and folks, I was hooked when I bit into that tomato. It was sweet. It had a great texture to it, and I was amazed at how much it didn't taste like the grocery store tomato. That it actually had flavor to it. And I kept saying, why does my tomato have all this sweetness to it, and the one in the grocery store doesn't? I don't understand. What is it with this tomato? Oh, maybe it's a different kind of tomato. Yeah, that's it. No, it wasn't that. I started doing some reading and found that the one in the grocery store is grown for appearance only. It's not grown for nutrition. It's not grown for texture, anything really. It's grown for the way it looks. So they take a green tomato that was grown on man-made chemicals, and they grow it to be perfect and flawless without any insect holes, without any insect bites in it whatsoever. The insects will not touch that tomato. And when you have any kind of vegetables, and I mean any kind of vegetables that insects will not touch, you better be careful yourself. When insects won't touch that food, you better be careful. There, they bring it in and they gas it. A perfectly green tomato gets gassed, which turns it red, but it's still a tomato that is green. Once it goes into the packaging, and they already sprayed it with some chemical to turn it red. Once it goes into the, or some of them actually wax the fruit as well. But once they put it in and it goes into the store, and you go in there, and you're a mom, and you're a soccer mom, or you're a soccer dad, and you roll along with the cart, and you're picking up tomatoes, and they're like 18, $40 a box for a little 3 tomatoes, and you get them, and you put them in your cart. You figure you're doing the best for your family, and you just bought your kids perfectly green tomatoes, but you didn't know. You roll them down there, and you take out a loan to pay for your groceries. They check your credit at the cash register and see if you can be qualified for that loan, and you take your groceries home. You get them home, put them in the refrigerator, and you slice off, the cuttings of the tomatoes, and you put them in a sandwich, and you put your mayonnaise on them and everything, and your lettuce, which again was grown with man-made chemicals, and you give this processed salted meat to your family. And when you do this, your family eats it, and your kids are still tired, and you're still tired. You got no nutrition out of that. Your body knows it. That's why it keeps craving for more food. And you think that you are just a greedy person, or that you're fat, but you keep eating because of the simple fact that your body's starving, because your body knows that it does not have the right nutrition in it. So it keeps craving and screaming out for food, and you keep eating junk food while you're sitting there watching the game, and you don't know what's going on with you. Why must you eat all the time? Why are you always hungry? Because you're not eating any food. You're eating some man-made food that is not satisfying your body. So you go on and on. This goes on for years until you start running into health problems because of your food that you intake. Birds don't eat green food. Insects don't eat green food. You're the only animal that eats green food. So this food is not ready to be eaten. And some food will make you sick if you eat it green. Not supposed to be eating green food. It just doesn't make sense to eat a plant that's not matured to the point where it's ready to be eaten. So I'm just saying, yes, that's a little take on the fact that food is so expensive. That's what it is. Um, so the thing about it is, you discover gardening. Some of you lucky enough to discover gardening, and you figure, my God, I got to do something. These grocery store bills are through the roof. Every time I go in there, it's getting higher and higher and higher. So you start gardening. Now you run into another problem because you don't know how to garden. And every year it fails, and you're ready to give up, and you're thinking, "Oh God, I hate this. I really hate this. Why won't my stuff grow like the people in the magazines and like the farmers and all these people? I'm doing all the right stuff. I'm reading what's on the pack of seeds. I'm reading what's on the fertilizer bottle. Why isn't this stuff working?" And we all forget that it all comes down to one thing. Can anyone tell me what that is? Go ahead and throw it up there. It's okay if you don't know. It's okay if you don't know. Throw it up there. Somebody type that word up there. What is the one thing that we forget when we garden? What's the main thing that's the most important thing that we don't really concentrate on? Okay, I'm gonna say time's up because I don't want to take up too much of your time. That's it right there. Right there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Price, thank you very much. It's soil. If your soil is so screwed up because number one, you bought the house, they scraped all the topsoil off, and all you got is that subsoil that they, get it to grow grass. So it has enough in it to grow some grass, and sometimes it won't even grow grass. But you run into that problem, then you run into the store and you bag it up on all this topsoil that they say is topsoil, and some of it is good topsoil. And so you run into a budget problem with that, and then you try to fill up all these raised beds, and that's an arm and a leg to do that. And folks, and there's an easier way. It's just that no one, for the most part, is putting the right information out there, or you're not finding it if it is out there to be able to get a garden done for a little of nothing. For a little of nothing, you can do a garden for a little of nothing. I was telling the young lady, I don't have a place to grow stuff. I said, do you have any restaurants in your location? She said, yes. I said, it's served food, right? I said, well, we got buckets in the back. They got 3-gallon and 5-gallon buckets in the back. Ask them if you have some. They'll give them to you. Your soil, as far as your soil goes, I told people, I said, go out when you see those leaves being thrown away in the fall. Get those leaves. They're black gold. They will help your soil. Some people went out and got them, and they were hitting me back, telling me, yeah, we went out and got some of the leaves. But what do we do with them? Put them in a compost pile? I said, no, you can actually sprinkle them out all over your ground. Get them about 2.5, 3 feet tall, and just let them sit out there. And she said, 3 feet tall? I said, trust me, in the spring, it'll be about a foot tall. After that snow and that rain hit it, it'll be about a foot tall. And then you take and uh, slide it to the side and put your plants in. And what will come into your property, what will come onto your property, you will have tons of worms come from nowhere. The ones that I call them the survivors that's been out there for a little while, and they'll come into your property. They'll digest a lot of that those leaves, and you will see nothing coming onto your property but pure black soil coming from nowhere. And that's the leaves that they're creating that compost on top of your soil. And then you'll start noticing that if you continue to use this soil the correct way, you will grow vegetables that will be sweet, that will be bountiful, and you will have a decent crop from your garden. Now it's going to start disappearing. So remember, the worms are eating it, the biology is eating it, it's going to disappear. So what you want to do next to the ground is you're going to start having some weeds come through as the pile of leaves gets thinner. You'll start having weeds pop through. That's where you start running into your chop and drop. You pull those up, you lay them on top. Pull those up, lay them on top. Now, when you start getting lots of weeds coming in, you're going to start going through the property with a weed trimmer or a lawnmower. And when you start doing that, now you got this biology continuously being added to your soil, which will cause what, folks? A richer environment for your plants. That's all you want to do. That's all you want to do, folks, is feed that biology. The biology in the soil is what you're feeding. People say, well, I can't see them and I don't hear them and I don't. What biology? What are you talking about? It's there, folks. I mean, I'll be able to see it, but it's there. Oh, my goodness. It's going to rain all next week? Yeah, hope it's not too heavy. Sometimes rain could be a good thing. Sometimes rain could be a bad thing. But, God, if you're not one of those people that tills your soil, because tilling makes your soil hold water. Yes, it does. It makes water sit there and stay there, and that's what hurts your plants. You get to the point where you just, my soil right there drains extremely well. It's pure black. Um, it grows plants now. It never did before. I'm telling you, folks, it never did really a good job. When I first bought this house and started growing things here, everything grew fine for about 2 years. And then the soil became depleted. And then I started running into problems with, wait a minute, what's going on? So, it's a fertilizer. So I started getting fertilizer. And then I didn't know there because I started using some man-made fertilizers, Miracle Grow and all that. And that grew things kind of weird. Stuff was growing fast, but the bugs was eating it. And I said, I wonder what's going on. So I was confused. I was confused. Every book that I read said the opposite of what the other book said. Every conversation on YouTube said the opposite of what another person said. And then he had those people that got on YouTube and it really blew me away. They were experts at everything relating to, I wouldn't use Miracle Grow either. I wouldn't use it personally. I wouldn't use it. It's like steroids to your plant. But what happens is the people who talk on YouTube, oh my God, they're experts at everything. They can tell you what time your plants get up in the morning. They can tell you what time your plants go to bed. They can tell you what time, oh my God, what your plants like to eat and everything. They know everything there is to know about. And then they'll take a simple thing that you need to know. It could be planting corn. And they will make that so complex that you'll say, huh? What? And that's what they'll do to you. And I'm like, oh, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. I'm not going to listen to this guy because he act like he was once corn himself, that he knows what corn likes exactly. I said, I can't listen to this guy. You could take any conversation, folks, when it comes to gardening, and you can make it just as simple as you walk over to your plot, you put the seed in the ground, you water the seed. Well, is that it? Yeah, that's it. Pretty much it. And if you want to talk about other things, like you say, well, make sure it's got 8 hours at least sun. Okay. What else? Well, you want to plant it this time of the year because it's just, it's when the soil gets about 65 degrees. You want to put it in the ground about that. Oh, okay. All right. That's all right. I'll give that a try. Now they got you growing corn. The corn is actually growing because of that simple conversation. Now you might want to know later things like, when do I know the corn is ready to be picked? Well, let's see. Pull back the husk a little. You prick one of the kernels, and it's milky white, and it's ready. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you. And and that's how it's done. But they take the conversation into an area. They got guys on here that are showing you how to make compost. Do you know what compost is? It's just rotted organic matter. This is all it is. It's all it is. And I've seen them, they have graphs up on the page, like graphs. They say 40% this, 60% that. You must layer it, and this, and it must be done. Let me tell you what I did, folks, a couple of days ago, or a couple of months ago. I went over to my neighbors, and he was cutting down a tree, and he cut down his branch, about 90 pounds of wood. I brought them over to my property. I laid them on the ground. I covered them with old compost, new compost, weeds, grass clippings, you name it, whatever. That's my compost pile. I did not sit there and try, okay, this is 40% that. I must make sure I put a layer of this in. Okay, yeah, that's it. And then I put a layer, and then, oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, I got to go back to the video and watch to see what he said I must do. Please. That compost pile better take care of itself. I'm not going to sit there over something that's been happening through nature naturally for millions of years, which is uh, organic matter composting. Composting don't even need your help to compost. Let's be real about it. They even got bags of stuff in the store in the stores when you go in the garden department. You sprinkle over the top or in the layers of your compost pile. It's called compost starter. Now, have you ever heard of something so crazy? Compost starter is any already made compost. You can sprinkle that in between the layers of the compost. It's just older compost, and it has all the biology in it that's going to start working on your new pile. Or you can put urine over the top of your compost. Nitrogen can start the process. Come on, they're taking your money that way. It was $15 for this bag of stuff, and you can go out there and say, how do you get the compost pile started? Oh, you just take some of your regular old compost and start adding a little bit of it, a shovelful to every layer of your compost pile. Make sure it's at least 3 feet high. That's all. Add it there. Don't start breaking down on its own. I'm not going to sit there and babysit a compost pile. That's crazy. It's just crazy how they tell you how to plant stuff, and they make it as complex as possible for you to understand. And it shouldn't have to be that way. But some people have a need, a desire to feel like they're the smartest person in the room. And so they will do this to other people. And then you got to sit there through it going, oh God, I just want to know how to grow some sunflower seeds. I don't understand what he's saying, but I'll listen because I need some pieces of information. That's how some of these videos are. So what I do is I make certain that I simplify things. That's why I say things like chop and drop. And I'll leave it at that. Because they'll take even chop and drop and make it complex. They'll say, uh, I'm going to do some chop and drop today, and over here we're going to pull up some comfrey because comfrey's rich in nitrogen, and it's 46% this and 12% that, and you don't need all of that. All you need to know is this green vegetation pulled or chopped from the ground will return to the ground, creating fertilizer. Any kind of vegetation. You don't need to be thrown off by somebody saying certain types of vegetation. And they do that because they want to feel like the smartest person in the room. Or like they've been studying this somewhere for like 40 years and they, have the knowledge it takes to, come on. It doesn't take all of that. You could take a tomato that has good seeds in it, throw it in the yard, and next year it'll come up without you. Now I'm not talking about one of them grocery store bought tomatoes. I'm talking about heirloom tomato grown naturally, natural seeds in it, and you can take it and just throw it out there in the yard on a farm or a place that's soil not been tampered with. You throw it out there and you come back next year, you'll have what they call them volunteers. They even gave that a name. These tomatoes will come up on their own without any intervention from you. And how will they do that? The way they've been doing it for millions of years. The piece of fruit grows, it matures, it rots, it falls from the branches, from the plant, hits the ground, and the seeds lie there in the fall and in the winter, and then when the temperature is absolutely correct, the seed comes up. Doesn't need any help from you. It doesn't need any help from you at all. And then the seeds will start to germinate and grow. And once they start to do that, the most mature and strongest plants, I said plants, not one plant, but plants will grow in a bundle or a bunch or a group of tomato plants. And only the strong will survive. Selective, selective growing. The strongest will survive. The one that matures quickest will most likely survive. The one that gets a hold to the nutrients quicker will survive. And then next year, guess what, folks? It'll repeat the same thing over again. It'll repeat the same thing over again. And if any animals come along and eat some of the tomatoes, eat some of the seeds, and walk off 10 feet, walk off a mile, and drop his or her droppings on the ground in the right kind of soil, it will start tomatoes in that location too. Nature doesn't need you. Plants don't really need you. But in the right conditions, they will grow on their own. And your job is to take your soil and create the right conditions. That's all. All right, good people, this has been the Morning Gardener. And I'm going to go now because I want to go out into my right conditions out there on the yard and check over my items that I planted and look at them and be marveled at how deep green and how fast they're growing, because I'm happy about that. This year I have much success this year. I'm having much success. And it has to do with I just simply simplified everything and stopped using man-made crap to make my stuff grow. And I did better. I weaned man out of it. I don't even use that water he used from the faucet. I use rainwater. So, all my information is on all my videos I have out there. Everything I'm talking about right now is on my videos. Throughout my channel, it's there. The information is there. And I wish every last one of you much success. Absolutely, I want you to be successful so you can feed and stay healthy. I want you to stay healthy. Do it here instead of at the doctor's office. This has been the Morning Gardener. Remember, take care and keep on growing. Take care now.